there, welcome to the Hot Slice Podcast. This is the podcast brought to you by Pizza Today magazine. I am your host, Denise Greer, editor-in-chief at Pizza Today, and I am joined by senior editor Kate Lavin.
Hello, Denise.
Hello! So I'm going to tell you, we are right in the middle of a heat wave as we record this podcast here in the Louisville area. I think about pizzerias and I think about working in a pizza kitchen and how hot pizza kitchens are. And I hope everyone is staying safe this summer and they're able to keep their kitchens at least reasonably cool away from the ovens because I just know how extremely hot it can be.
Oh my goodness, that sounds bananas. And you even have air conditioning.
Yes, exactly. But yeah. The summer is flying by. I will tell you, I am preparing for the operator survey right now. So y'all get excited to complete your operator survey. I'm improving it again this year, and we're going to make it even better. And I just worked out some deals on some really nice incentives for you to complete your survey. I'm not going to share that right now, but it's going to be fun.
A secret. Everyone loves a secret.
All right. And I will tell you, since the July issue was out, it was kind of an employee experience issue, and our guest is kind of tied to that. So, Kate, why don't you just tell us all about our guest?
I would be happy to. Our guest today is Zachary Black. He's the Chief Experience Officer at Jason's New York Pizza in Maine. And I was able to speak with him for the July cover story about the best workplaces. And he just gets right into it and is very honest about challenges that they've shared, how they've overcome them. And I really enjoy his candor.
I do too, because I always think that you learn so much through your struggles and through, failure or, not having things go right. And that's when, like, you really change things. That's when evolution happens with brands and things. And certainly they had a post-COVID moment, like a lot of restaurants did, where they were like, with the great resignations, just losing employees left and right, of knowing that, hey, we need to change our employee structure, we need to change what we're doing. So I just it just he impresses me every day on what they're doing up there in Maine.
Yes, I think so too. And at one point they thought, how are we even going to be able to keep these two pizza shops around? And now they've doubled that number. So it was very successful, and I think people are going to get a lot out of it.
All right, let's just jump into our conversation with Zach.
Great pizza starts with flavorful tomatoes you can count on. For more than 80 years, pizza makers have trusted Stanislaus Food Products to deliver superior tomato products and pizza sauces with the dependable quality and consistency they need, can after can. Whether you're perfecting a signature recipe or serving a busy Friday night crowd, Stanislaus tomatoes help make preparation easier and deliver the vibrant, vine-ripened tomato flavor your guests love. Because when your ingredients perform consistently, you can spend less time worrying about the sauce and more time creating memorable meals that keep customers coming back. Learn more about Stanislaus and their products at www.stanislaus.com or follow them for updates on Instagram and Facebook. Are you looking for smarter ways to improve consistency, efficiency, and bake quality in your pizza operation? Spokane Valley, Washington-based Lloyd Pans is the trusted name for commercial pizzerias and home chefs alike. For over 40 years, Lloyd Pans has been creating innovative pizza pans and tools designed to deliver perfect results every time. Whether it's crispy, golden pizza crusts or perfectly baked pastries, Lloyd Pans' durable, stick-resistant, and proprietary pan finishes are a game changer. Going beyond pizza? Visit lloydpans.com to explore our lineup of food service and bakeware pans and accessories. Need shipping quotes or custom products? Email sales@lloydpans.com for personalized service.
All right, Zach, welcome to the Hot Slice Podcast.
Thank you for having me again.
Thanks for coming. Yeah, absolutely. So I spoke with you for our Secrets of the Best Workplaces cover story for the month of July, and you let me know that Jason's New York Pizza kind of took a moment of reflection right after COVID, and redoubled your efforts to try and make Jason's a great workplace. Could you talk to me a little bit about that?
Yeah, just COVID happened and nobody knew
Yeah.
what to expect and what was going to happen. But I mean, we got our world rocked in one sense because we were so busy because takeout pizzerias were crazy and we had no help. So somehow we made it out alive, but we made it out with way less employees than we started with. Some people that had been with us for a long time, but during COVID, they transitioned to home, and we made that an option when COVID happened. We said, if you want to stay at the pizza shop, we will offer X, Y, and Z amount of money extra on top of your pay, or you can go home and be safe and collect unemployment, which was more than what we could offer. So we lost most of our employees. And then during that time, people just found new careers and just lost touch with them and they never came back. So yeah, we were down to 10 employees, I think, at our two
Between
pizza
two
shops.
shops?
Yeah.
Wow,
So
10
yeah,
employees with two shops.
it
That's
was
insane.
rough. Our My partner's parents, Jonathan, Marty, and Donna, they had kind of transitioned sort of out of the pizzeria. So COVID happened, and we were like, so you're gonna have to like come back to work because we have no employees. So we had our busiest store open full time. We say full time, but we were open like 11 to 7 during COVID. And then we closed our other store and we were open like 4 to 7, 3 days a week. And we were taking any help. I mean, employees, parents, cousins, I mean, anyone, like all hands on deck. So we made it through that somehow and we got open full hours and we said, okay, our customers have been through enough here. We weren't open regular hours. We have to have set hours again, no matter what, whether or not we have one employee or 5 employees, we're open these hours and it is what it is. And we just kind of brainstormed how, if this happens again, can we be a better place to work and make it so our employees want to come back after a pandemic or whatever happens again, just because we knew we couldn't go through that and hire an entire new crew and train them all
Mhm.
and lose all of our longevity because it was hard. And I mean, Jonathan and I are in our 30s and we were thinking, oh, we want to grow the company. We want to open more pizzerias. And after that, we said,
Yeah.
oh, my word, like, I do not think I want to open another pizzeria if this is what we're going to go through again. But yeah, we made it.
What were those elements that you were really looking at to really change the way you were doing things from an employee management and employee relationship kind of
I think we just more or less kind of had the mindset of like, you just come to work and you do your job and then you go home at the end of the day. And we
mhm.
didn't really think about more of like, okay, life outside of work, recognition while you're at work, because we were just in the trenches of it and we worked every day inside the shops. Um, so we realized, all right, we need more of an infrastructure, we need a management team, and we started at ground zero and just had to build up from there. We need better policies and better pay and just kind of started from there because I think we just got in the mundane of it. We were there, we'd make pizza all day, and we were next to an employee doing the same thing, and we weren't really thinking about their the big picture of it,
Yeah.
um, their life and schedule and all of those logistics. So we spent a lot of time working on those things.
Did you have an evaluation process where you really looked at the different things that you wanted to bring into the business, or did you kind of do it from a vision standpoint? Like how did you kind of revolutionize what you were doing?
Honestly, it just kind of started flowing, really. I don't know. We
Yeah,
didn't really,
organically.
yeah,
Yeah.
it just happened and we got through COVID and it was like the end of 21, because I feel like COVID went on forever.
Mhm.
Um, and then it was the beginning of 22 and we came across a third pizza shop that we'd always wanted, this location. And that was kind of, we saw that for lease and we wanted to go in there and we were like, wow, we barely made it through COVID and we haven't even fully staffed out. But do we want to pass up this opportunity? So that kind of put us in overdrive of um, more tools and resources for our employees, having a pay scale, building a team, managers and assistant managers. We started the parties and recognition process. And it kind of just, like you said, organically happened because we stumbled across a new location and then we had no choice but to get all of our ducks in a row. So I'd say like the beginning of 2022 really whipped us into shape.
Yeah.
And just kind of went from there.
Sometimes it's like when you're thrown in it, you just get right in, and then that helps you to motivate you to make things happen when, hey, look, I'm in it. I got to make it happen.
You have no choice. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of happened. And we knew like, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you.
I was going to say, we knew like Jonathan's parents, they're always there to support us and they're, the back end of things now. And they're not like the face of the company right now, but we couldn't open a third store and have to call them to come save us. Like that was a big thing for us. Like we have to rely on having GMs and infrastructure internally because the solution can't be call mom and dad. Like they've done their 25 years. That probably felt like 50 working in the pizza shop every day. Like we have to do this now and figure it all out.
I was curious, you said you developed a pay scale. How did you go about doing that?
So I pay close attention. Like I'm always on Indeed and places around us and kind of like New England wide, writing down, like keeping notes constantly, maybe once a month of like what places are paying, have they increased their pay? And I do the same thing for prices for pizza shops in the area, just because I want us to always kind of be ahead when it comes to pay for our employees and pricing wise. I like don't want to be at the top, but I don't want to be at the bottom. So I'm always paying attention to both of those. So I was just always jotting it down, and we got to this kind of frustrated point where employees be like, "Hey, I'm due for my raise. Like, do I get a raise? Like, can I have a raise? How much could my raise be?" We kind of had people in different roles that were all getting paid different rates, and then some rates were really close and it didn't seem fair. So we just researched like similar positions that we had at takeout style restaurants and jotted down our 5 positions, which is a GM, AGM, team leader, and a crew member. I guess that's 4 right now, not including like administrative people, and came up with a base rate. And just kind of stick with that. And we were having a problem where people were always coming to us for a raise. So like, oh, wow, like, all right, do we do a raise once a year? Like, what do we do here? So our structure is like, this is the max rate we can pay for a position. And after that, it would be based on your anniversary with the company. And then it's between 3 and 7%. That way there's no like, and it's kind of hard still because people come to you and they have a lot of experience and they might be coming into entry-level kitchen position. And we kind of have to stick to our guns that is like our hourly rate. And we weren't doing that before, and it really would cause a lot of disruption in the company. Like, well, Jim came to us because he's got 5 years of experience, and that's why he's making so much more. And that may change with time, but let's just kind of what's worked right now is having a set rate for each position. And then the way you make more money is moving up the ranks or with your longevity with the company and just doing a good job, because you could get 7% every year. And it's a decent chunk to your hourly rate every year. So
for sure. Yeah.
And we adjust it every year because hourly rates, in Maine, it's gone up, I think, every year. So we do adjust it every year and play with it. Yeah.
That's great.
It also kind of protects everyone, maybe the people who aren't asking for a raise all the time. We're kind of getting left behind compared to those who were asking, every couple months.
Right. Yeah, because there are the people, I found that the people that don't that maybe weren't getting a raise, or they were kind of like forgotten because they weren't vocal, sometimes are like the hardest working people too. Like they
Hmm.
are the ones that are so loyal and
Yep.
they come to work and they don't want to voice that, like, hey, I didn't get a raise, because they're just, I don't know, they're kind human and they feel bad asking, even though, please ask. Like, we didn't purposely not give you a raise or forget about you. It's just, there's 100 things every day. So
I
That's great.
I was talking to one of my nephews, and they're young folk. They, working their way up, figuring things out. But we were talking about asking for raises and things, and he's like, well, I've started just asking ChatGPT what I should do and how to approach getting a raise. And I'm like, that's a
yeah.
great idea because
Yeah.
like you wouldn't know like that it's a negotiation. Like anything is a negotiation.
Yeah.
So understanding how your structure works and how you can use it, I was like, why not use AI? That's why.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you just got to ask. I mean, what's the worst that happens? Someone says no. And,
Yeah.
um, and we've kind of ironed it out more now. We have another relative that's our operations support manager. So she helped create um, spreadsheets and kind of oversees a lot of that now. Before it was just Jonathan and I, and we were doing a lot and we couldn't focus on it as well. So now there's a spreadsheet with anniversary dates, and every time someone, changes positions, what their hourly rate is and what their raise was. So we try to log all of it. Obviously, sometimes that goes astray, but
Yeah.
um, definitely like the whole writing things down on pieces of paper, like, is just not the way to go. Like, you got to have a system for it and have someone that oversees it. Otherwise, people's anniversaries fall through the cracks. Yeah. And like when you add more to it, you've got to have a structure. Like, we do the anniversary pins and like recognition on certain years. And if you don't have someone to oversee all of that, it becomes too much.
At what point did you bring that operations person in?
Um, I think she's helped us. I'm trying to remember now. I think it was the end of 24. So like we had
Mhm.
opened our third store, and then we were like, okay, like, if we want to open more, we're going to need a little help here. So we had found a fourth store, and then she came on board to help us. She first kind of just started doing like some catering and helping answering emails, and then it
Yeah.
evolved into, so we have lots more for you to do. So yeah, she's kind of like, I don't want to say an assistant because she does more than that, but she kind of keeps us in check with things like, hey, this is a GM who's due for a review. Like, this is how long they've been here, and it needs to be done by
Yeah.
this day. Which is great to have, because otherwise we can never stay on top of it. Hey, like, the company party's coming up. Like, where are we at with that? So yeah,
Yeah.
and
That's
she's
great.
This
crazy organized. She's crazy organized, so it's perfect.
That is a perfect example of when operators should delegate because now you guys can focus on the growth of your brand and not focus on the details. The details somebody else can handle, whereas you are doing the big vision planning for your company, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah, we are kind of at that like sticky spot where, like, we say probably the next store will require like a director of operations or someone to help us more, like, along with the person
Hmm.
that helps us with the administrative and operations side, because like you just said, I can't be focused on every little thing. I could have the vision for the training that needs to be done for every employee, but someone else has to help orchestrate that. I can't,
Yeah.
our train 60 employees, or more than 60. Every person we hire, I can't train them all. And I
Yeah.
wish I could, but yeah. And I was going to go back to the pay scale, because I didn't want to sound like there's no other way for people to make money. But like, we have some other incentives now. Of We're in one of the little stadiums up here in Bangor, and we have like a catering pop-up truck. So what we do is we pay more for those types of roles. So people could, instead of working a shift in the pizza shop, they could go work at the stadium, or they could work the catering truck and make more money doing that. So that's a nice way to get out of the store and, I don't know, listen to live music and watch someone get married and make more money. So
Yeah.
That's great. As you've opened these new locations, has that allowed you to promote from within? And how do you decide who you think is ready to take on a more leadership role?
So GMs, I think it's 50-50 right now for general managers. We've hired half of them from the outside and half internally, but shift managers and like team leaders is pretty much 100% internally. We've been interviewing for a shift manager job for like 4 months from the outside, and we haven't hired anybody.
Yeah.
And we've just kept promoting from inside. Like we just had it posted in case somebody comes along with a lot of experience. And I don't know, I think it could be fresh eyes from the outside, but like internally, when people know they could be promoted from within, they work a little harder for that. And I think that's nice. I don't know.
Yeah.
I, I think there's a benefit to both if you find the right person from the outside, but usually it's internally.
I feel like when you do promote from within, that also gives you a leg up for recruitment as well. Because if people know that, hey, if I come into Jason's, I potentially have the opportunity to grow with this brand since they are growing and they keep evolving, where I can get my own store maybe. I mean, that
Yeah.
would be my goal if I were coming in to the pizzeria as a potential career.
Yeah. And we do, like Jonathan reiterates that all the time to people now, like, hey, and we've been open for 29 years, but like, we're just going here. So
Mhm.
there's lots of opportunities that could come up. But yeah, internally and besides GMs, we now leave the promoting for any managers under them pretty much to their discretion.
Yeah.
They'll say, hey, I want to promote this person to a shift manager, and we might give them our input on why I would or why I wouldn't, and we leave it up to them. And it's a lesson, if it doesn't work out, it's a lesson that they've learned. And if it works out, great. Like we recognize the manager that they did a good job picking someone from internal, but we didn't want to control all the factors when we started having a structure internally. We said, oh, sure, we could pick every person they promote, but I don't work with all the employees internally. The GM works directly with them, so they should be the person that promotes
They're the
everybody.
most knowledgeable about their
Yeah,
work ethic and just how they're working,
right.
I think that's a great call.
You also told me about your company party, which sounds pretty epic, honestly. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. I think this will be our third like party. We've always done like little parties, but last year's was a lot of fun. We did it at a state park. We did a big lobster bake. We let people bring, I think last year was like a +1 or +2. But this year
Yum.
I voted for you could bring your whole family at this year's. But it was fun. We were closed all day. People carpooled. We had games and people swam. We rented like a dozen kayaks and paddle boards,
Uh,
and everyone just had a great time. Like we had music playing, and it gets everyone out of the shop, and it gets everyone to mingle with other employees that they don't see every day. We opened a store that's 90 minutes away from our 3 stores in Bangor, so seeing all of those people interact was kind of cool, and meeting each other. We stood back and we're like, wow, like we've come a long ways here. Like we have employees that have never met each other now, and like
yeah.
they're getting to know each other at the company party. So it was cool.
I absolutely love that you close for that day, because I think it is so beneficial to go ahead and not open that day so that everyone can participate and nobody has to worry about either opening and then making your way to the party, or going to the party and then going back to work, that you've made it that, hey, this is how important us all getting together is. We're just not going to open. Like that's a day
Right.
we're just not going to have.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great call.
Yeah. And it the turnout rate for everybody is way higher. Like doing something at 4 or 5, or even I've seen places close at 7, and then
Hmm.
everyone's getting together for a dinner. And that's everyone's choice. But we didn't have much success rate with that. Employees were like, I have to go home. Like, I'm covered in pizza sauce. Like, I've got
Yeah.
kids. I'd have to hire a babysitter for 2 hours. Like,
Yeah.
it, it's just, and honestly, we'll close for that day. And I could probably look back, but like the happiness with our customers when you post it on social media, like, you get so much engagement. Like, hey, we're closed for the day. And then you post photos all day long of everybody at camp eating lobsters and like hanging out on the
Yeah.
water. Like, for one, we've gotten people that have applied because they've seen that. And two, customers just pick a different day to order that week because they're so happy their local restaurant or business is doing stuff with their employees. So I think it pays off in the long run and it's totally worth it. We pick a slower day. We don't close on like a Friday, but usually a Monday. I think last year was a Tuesday because that's our slowest day of the week. Yeah, just hang out. 2 years ago, we did pizza games. So that was a lot of work though. Like, we
Yeah.
transformed our whole property into like this event center and everyone competed in games, which was fun, but it felt too much like work, like making
Yeah.
pizza to win an award. So then
Yeah.
went with the summer camp thing. And I think we're doing that this year. And
I
this
love the
year,
summer camp because it's
yeah,
summer,
it's fun.
you swimming, you got all the fun things that you can do. And and it's easy breezy because it's not in your on your property. I think having
Right.
it away from your property and it's actually beneficial because it gets you out of those out of your element too.
Mhm. Yeah. We've done fun parks, which is fun, but like not everyone wants to go on a roller coaster and not everyone wants to go in their bathing suit in front of everyone
Mhm.
at a water park. So the younger crew would love the fun parks thing again, but we've retired that for
I love it.
now.
Oh,
But
that's
yeah, it's fun. Awards, like we do the awards and we reach out to a lot of our vendors for like free swag and we buy a bunch of
Mhm.
swag and there's ways to win that at the party. So it's good.
You mentioned training your employees. How has that changed as the company has grown, as you've brought on more managers?
Training. Oh man, training's always evolving. Well, we have training guides at all of the locations, which I feel like 75% of the time works. And then 25% of the time you don't see people using them. So right now, which I think is because it's a paper, it's a book, it's not digital, it's tough to update, it gets dirty. So right now we're actually in the process of an employee resource center we're making. So that'll be a website where employees can watch videos of their coworkers and managers making products, stocking things in the store. Bless you. Um, and that'll kind of be the training center. That's where you'll find all of your prep sheets. That's where you'll find closing sheets, training materials on everything. Um, but we're going from training guides on paper and books to a website with, we have laptops in the stores right now, so, and iPads, so I'm not sure what we'll use it on. And that way employees could access those materials at home. So if we designate 4 hours of training for a new hire, they could use those resources at home. Um, and then we don't have to worry about updating pages in a printed book. So that's kind of where we're heading with it. I hope it works better than a training guide, but we'll find out. So, yeah.
If you had to think of one change that you've made that has made Jason's a better workplace, what would you say that has been?
Oh, that's a good one.
Mm, well, like in the last 4 years or like this
You can
year,
pick
I
any
don't
time,
know.
honestly.
I mean, I say this, and Jonathan always says this. We say that I think us being a flexible employer with the schedule is probably one of the most successful things you can do. We're not strict
Especially
to the
with Gen
schedule.
Z.
Yeah, if you approve basically all their time off and you work with sports and you work with daycare or whatever the need is, and you just kind of make that part of your business, I think people will stay longer because they're happier. If you are really strict with the schedule and you aren't flexible with days off or days and nights and vacation time, we found people just leave. And that's kind of what we went through for a long time. And then probably like 20, kind of during the end of COVID is when we like were much more flexible. And I think that's what keeps people around for longer. And that's what our employees have said that have stayed with us or have gone on to new careers because they went to college and whatnot. They said it's because you guys were so flexible. I could go to college or I could work a part-time job. I could pick my kids up from daycare and still work at my local pizzeria. So I'd probably say that. I mean, that's not to say that there's not a time where like we can't give someone a Friday night off because we are a pizzeria and that's when we're busy. But if you got a dentist appointment or, you know, you can only work till 6:30, like the manager's probably going to work with you just because that's kind of what we've instilled in our crew.
All right, man.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. This was really fun.
Yeah. Thank you. It's fun.
Thanks, Zach.
Yes, I'll see you.
Will we see you at Pizza Expo Columbus?
I think so. We're going to try to bring some of the team.
Oh,
So,
sweet.
yeah.
Are you going to
I'm
bring
trying to think
anybody
of an
to
incentive.
compete? Is somebody going to compete in the
know.
Great American Pizza Challenge? Do you see
We
they've
need
got
to
some
start
pretty
competing
cool
in things.
categories? Yeah, they
Yeah.
and Great American Pizza Challenge is a great because it's a regional show. It's a great place to start competing. Because they've got unique and interesting categories that are a little different than what's in Vegas. So I highly recommend it if you
Is
guys
that
could think
because
about
it's
it.
more not like big national level? It's a little, I
Well,
mean, worldwide,
because
it's a little smaller.
there's not as many competitors at Great American Pizza Challenge. So it's a little less. It's not as you go to Vegas and it's this huge thing where it's like everything is
It's
just right.
intimidating.
Yeah, it's intimidating to do it. And I feel like Columbus is an environment where you can really get your foot in the door with competing and do it with a lot of confidence because you have great products and being able to compete on a national level like that is it's pretty fun. So I mean that's my
Yeah.
spiel for it.
Oh,
So,
and I have to encourage some people to do it.
there you
All
go.
right.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Yeah. It's
Thank
good
you, Zach.
chatting.
All right,
Stay
thanks,
cool.
Zach. I'll see you later.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.